So again, I like them. I like the notion. Obviously, you know this, but we'll just put it on record, right? Affordability has very rarely ever been this bad. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of kind of need for workforce housing. Unfortunately, it's not being fixed by kind of the standard process. We're seeing builders, frankly, not build it and now pulling back because rates are
Sure.
so high. Um, we have a lot of kind of government help, which always seems to end up on the demand side, not the supply side, which is bonkers, but I guess easier. So, when you take this white paper and this vision in your experience and you go rent by the room, um, how do you operationalize that? Because I kind of get the marketplace, right? Okay, you
Yeah.
take a house, you put it on, you count the bedrooms, the bathrooms, you kind of rent it. Frankly, that's easy for me to understand. But now you've got four strangers. You probably have an owner that may be in town, maybe out of state, because I'm sure this plays for all kinds of landlords. How do you do the hard stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. So for us as a business and as a marketplace, really we provide tools, information, and incentives.
Mm,
And if we have the incentive for a real estate investor who theoretically is motivated by the bottom line to make more money, then the question is, how do you enable that
okay.
happening?
Mhm.
Uh, and we provide inside of PadSplit really three distinct services. One is demand generation marketing, getting anyone who is in the market to rent a room
Mhm.
through the application funnel and into that room very, very quickly. So they're applying, they get approved within minutes. It's as easy as booking an Airbnb. Uh, but we're still doing the background check, income verification, identity verification, even using biometric scanning to make sure that the person who's applying is the person who's moving in. And then they can move in within 48 hours. So that's one bucket of services. The
Mhm.
second bucket of services is the way that we can take a relatively low income or income challenged population with low credit, no credit, and help them perform at an effective collections rate north of 97% on a consistent basis is we match the all-inclusive bill, which includes utilities, Wi-Fi, furniture, et cetera, to their payday. So the day that they actually get paid, or you pick an individual day of the week. So like I have no idea as I sit here today what day of the week November 1st falls on, but the
Right.
entire rental industry assumes that your tenant
Yeah.
living paycheck to paycheck is going to budget seven different bills around that. And I saw a lot of people who got evicted over the years because they paid their cable television bill first, because that was the person who was calling them.
Yeah.
And so what we do is bill by the week or customize per payday, and it's one bill. So it's much easier to budget. Of course, it's easier for them to prioritize. But that also means that if you have like this house right here was the first PadSplit prototype
Nice.
over my right shoulder, and there are six people who live there. I have the guy in this room right there has been there since the beginning, since 2017, and has never moved. But with six people paying weekly, that means I'm collecting north of 25 payments per month.
Mm.
Well, keeping up with each of those payments. And then if someone misses a payment or changes jobs and needs to reschedule that payment, like that becomes very onerous very quickly. And when you talk about a real estate investor who wants to have 10 of these things,
Hmm.
it just is a tremendous workload. So that's the second bucket of services. And then the third bucket of services falls loosely into resident management and technology tools. How do you make sure that people inside the home are incentivized to behave the way that we all want them to behave? And what do you do when you run into issues like Susie stole my peanut butter, Johnny's playing his music too loud, uh, Michael's leaving dirty dishes in the sink all the time, right? And those are things that a lot of traditional landlords or property managers are just not equipped or set up or desirous of taking on. And so we've set up both operational systems and technology to start addressing a lot of those things where residents can communicate and rate each other. Residents have the ability in the most serious cases of resident conflict to be able to transfer easily to other units of the platform. We're the largest co-living marketplace in the US. We have over 8,300 units on the platform across the country right now, and just having that as a relief valve is very meaningful as well. And then things like, okay, well now a host can communicate with a resident very quickly and easily. They can see the performance of their homes. They can see, who's submitting what maintenance requests at what time, and process those. So it's a full suite of property management tools, as well. So that's really the third bucket, which is encompasses quite a lot. But
Yeah.
that's what we do.